In an ideal world and a healthy democracy, all of our citizens would be interested in their community and engaged in political discourse. This resolution is about moving forwards to make that a reality. Conference, as activists, we've all been there. We're out canvassing, knocking doors, speaking to people on stalls, and someone says something along the lines of, "I don't do politics, I don't vote." When we question why, often the response is that they don't understand politics. They don't know what it involves, or how it works, or how it even affects them. Many don't know or understand what reserved, devolved matters are, and which level of government is responsible for which service delivery. It's true to say that you don't know what you don't know. Research undertaken by the Scottish Youth Parliament found that 2/3 of young Scots recognise the importance of knowing more about politics, and nearly 3/4 believed that political education should be expanded in schools. They acknowledge that the information that they receive in school is more trustworthy than what they might discover on social media. In response, the Scottish Youth Parliament has issued its roadmap to votes at 16, making 16 solid recommendations which include comprehensive democratic education, youth-led initiative, and robust strategies to counter misinformation. When Scotland first introduced lowering the voting age to 16, 10 or so years ago, there was a lot of funding made available to support democratic education. But once that funding dried up, so did the courses. And as one person said, if adults who work with young people aren't supported to create spaces for meaningful education and participate in democratic processes while we're young, we are less likely to take part as we grow up. And another said, if we really want young people to feel genuinely engaged in civil life, teachers and youth workers must be supported to help us learn about the whole process and not just the first step. Recent election data underlines just how high the stakes are. Labour's 2024 UK general election victory was secured with only 33.7% of the vote on a turnout of 59.7%. In other words, 40.3% of eligible voters abstained. In May's Hamilton, Larkhall and Stonehouse by-election, turnout fell to 44.2%. Labour prevailed with 31.6% of votes cast, which is barely 13.9% of the total electorate, while 58.5% stayed home. These figures expose a democratic deficit that demands action. So, conference, let's act today to make sure that the future generations are equipped with that knowledge and have an understanding of our political systems so that we can close that gap by ensuring that every secondary school pupil leaves with a solid grounding in how our political institutions operate. Not just those that choose to take higher modern studies, politics, or join the debating club, but all pupils, so that they do not feel ill-prepared to vote. Let's not leave it to chance that their families are politically engaged and discussing these things with them. To support this, we also urge that pupils are assisted to register to vote once they are entitled to at age 14, generally during S3. Importantly, consideration also needs to be given to providing a toolbox for teachers to enable them to deliver these sessions in an engaging and non-partisan way. To support all of this, the resolution calls on ministers alongside education specialists to add a civic knowledge strand to the existing personal and social education curriculum, to include explanations of the structures and functions of government at Westminster, Holyrood and local government levels, trace the evolution of key political ideologies and civil rights milestones, as well as providing hands-on practice through exercises such as mock ballots, school-based youth parliaments, and direct engagement with decision makers from across the political spectrum. In short, conference, let's educate our young people on how elections work, why their vote matters, and how to evaluate candidates, honing their democratic skills before they leave school. I repeat, you don't know what you don't know. Let's make sure our future generations do know. Conference, please support this resolution as written. Thank you.